I'm filming a 10-day survival video to build me a house. Now, it probably won't take me 10 days to build me a house. You know what? Oh, I thought that was gonna hurt. Didn't, luckily. So I'm going to film a series of videos, and I'm calling it the Year on the Island series. See that ginormous island? I'm grabbing as many trees or saplings as I can. And once I go on it, I cannot leave, or I can come on land, this land, but I can't grab any resources. Unless if it's mining, I can't grab any trees. The only way I can grab a tree off of this area is if all of the trees that I'm planting never grow. Ooh, sweet, there's a cow and a pig on this island too. Holy crap, this island is massive. Got a little bit of a water source other than salt water. I have 2 cows, I'm gonna let them live. But can I feed you? No. What do pigs eat? Wow, that pig just walked straight for a tree. You eat carrots. 1, 2, 3. No, one more. You 2 are in my way, so. Is that no, that's not another island. Ugh. But after the year that I'm filming on this, I will move off of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Okay, that's how big my starter house is gonna be. You know, can y'all spawn more? Really, I have nothing to do. Ooh, a shape. So, I guess it's just gonna be boring. I might film a Skyblock server. Okay. So I do have a little bit of stone down there, but yeah. I don't really know how to fast forward because I'm filming off my phone on video. So my only goal for this video is survive a year on this island without dying. And I'm going to tell you that's not going to happen, I'm pretty sure. Yes, there's a little bit of sugar cane on this island. You know, I normally play Minecraft on my phone. For the beach over here. Where are they coming from? Now I have some more animals on my island, obviously. So I guess really, I'm just gonna live on the island. Living on this island is my 2 other trees. So it could take let's give it a couple more minutes to grow, and if not, I'm gonna go ahead and say guess you just get to watch me. You know what? Well, let's go kill this thingy. Give me. I'm not gonna kill it because that thing's gonna shoot at me. It kind of looks like the 2 clock towers or the twin towers over there. I don't want to go check it out though, because I'm sure you're gonna see that multiple times. Those things. Sounds like farts. No, I'm gonna kill some of my animals. If you're a vegetarian, I would get off this video. Ooh, okay. Well, I am getting kind of hungry, so, and I want some levels. Hit the subscribe button if you're on this video, please, or whatever. I'm gonna have a variety of food. Now I'm gonna have some lamb chops. Ooh, there's a horse. Hooray. I just need to kill the cows and hope I have enough to make a... Actually, hold on, I might have made a crafting table. There's a horse on this island, and I'm really happy because if I kill the cows that I have, or thought that I had 2 cows, maybe they left me, or maybe already... I'm just gonna hope for the best and get some leather. Yeah. Ow. Ow, 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 ow. Sorry. Sorry about that, y'all. I'm not going to get that pig thing, that hunk of pig meat. Hold on.
You seem pretty relaxed for a couple about to host.
We're all set. New home theater for all the kids.
Super helpful smart fridge. Best Buy set you love.
Yeah, we're just workshopping dessert ideas.
But this is number 1. How about that?
What if the right tech could elevate your holiday hosting?
For the next 100 days, I am stranded on this raft floating away in the middle of the ocean. During that time, I use whatever I can find to survive against the sea life and create my own paradise, being one of my best builds to date. If you end up enjoying this video at all, please make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Now, let's see how I survived 100 days stranded out to sea. Day 1, I am on a few pieces of wood floating out in the middle of the ocean. How do I keep getting into these situations? Well, no time like the present to fend for myself. Again. At random times, the ocean will spit out another man's trash, which turns into my treasure. See, I got a barrel which has some interesting starter items inside.
Listen to it.
Maybe I should eat that pufferfish just to see what it does. However, that's how I have to survive out here. Use this fishing rod to catch the sea trash, or I could just jump in after it. But if I jump in, I might run into a few bruises. So let's be careful of the ocean. On that
Yeah.
haul, though, I was able to acquire a few leaves,
Okay,
and if
well.
I break them, I might get a sapling. Or not. Cool, I didn't want one anyway. Oh,
Well,
actually,
yeah,
I have
you
a
can't
jungle
plant
one.
it on wood.
Yeah. Alright, I'll use it. You see that Bruce in the water?
So,
He
just
wants my
listen
booty,
to
but he
it.
ain't getting it. After gathering enough of the sea
So,
life, I was
tonight-
able to make stone tools, and the best part, I never had to make a wooden pickaxe. Sucks to be you, nerd. After a few more barrels I found discarded in the ocean,
Did
I
you-
made a dirt extension for some saplings.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't like it either. So I spent the evening fixing my raft up to have 3 saplings planted down along with some carrots, since food will probably be an issue at some point. But it's nighttime now and I can't sleep. Shocker, this always seems to happen. So instead, I swam around the ocean collecting pickles. Sea pickles are a vibe. Plus, if I want to swim at night, it would be best to see the wildlife under my house. After that, my first tree grew. Of course, it had to be jungle, but here and now, I make the decision to use jungle wood for all my builds this entire video. Never in my life would I willingly use this wood, but the raft is made out of it, so where's the harm? I finished out the night by trying to catch some sushi, and to my surprise, the California roll was not on the menu. Now that the sun's up, I was able to safely search the ocean for polluted treasures. Now that I think about it, that kind of continues the entire video. Maybe I'm a secret agent for Team Seas. Other than just clearing up our dying ocean, I also fished. Apparently you can get some very interesting looking creatures from the sea, and I'm not used to it. Although I'm sure they all taste great in a smoker. After positively and negatively impacting the marine life, I had some trees grow behind me. I need to get this stuff to grow ASAP so I can get more saplings and make a giant jungle tree. Those are cool, but they're still not as cool as the spruce trees. However, a sick side effect from using the jungle trees was that I actually got food from them. Is that a banana? There's a banana. I guess I didn't need to fish for sushi after all. Speaking of fish, I wanted to cook some of mine up, so I added jellyfish to the furnace, and to my shock, I think I burnt the food. I swear, I did not. I put jellyfish in a smelter and I got slime balls. Well, to chalk up a very successful day, I found enough string to make a bed. So this time when it got dark, I was able to handle it by closing my eyes and making all my problems go away. Now that I'm refreshed, it was time to get a mine going. I've been above water for way too long, and somehow on day 3, I don't have iron armor yet. Saddening. So I went to the bottom of the,
Okay, that was
very
a
deep
close
ocean
call,
with a
y'all.
trapdoor and mined down for a
Hopefully
bit.
he-
This shall be the start of our
Well.
cave-dwelling adventures. But I need a ladder, so
I'm just
back
gonna
up I
let you
go already.
listen to that.
I wanted to collect as much wood as possible since I need a lot of sticks to get down there in the mines. However, the ocean wasn't granting kindness today. Whoa, okay, I can't see, I'm legally blind. Dude, why is the ocean throwing these curveballs at me? Like, I thought we were friends. As I try to get back in the water so I can place letters, it happened
You know,
again.
Maybe
Whoa,
while it's
relax.
nighttime,
Relax.
we can
Alright, this is
listen
my
to my
safe
video
space. Get away.
and play a
Note to
game,
self,
you know,
ocean's
because
scary,
that's how
and I'm the
I'm...
victim. With that discovery, I
watching
went
this
back
video.
to making my mine shaft. It was just straight down to Y11. The first cave I found actually had some diamonds in it, but I'm still rocking stone tools, so I grabbed up a few different veins of iron and headed back to the surface to smelt them into a chestplate, helmet, pickaxe, axe, and shield. I'm half ready for war. Back in the mines, I started grabbing up every ore I could find, cause it's all valuable. And yes, that includes the diamonds, which I only got 2 of, by the way. Not cool. And even worse, the cave actually ends here, so I had to go strip mining. But almost right away, I was rewarded with 5 more diamonds, so that covers my depression. The strip mine also led into an underwater magma cave, so I collected some of the magma to use for air bubbles while I mined some of the ores there. Trust me, this
Put it
wasn't a
closer
fun
so now you
experience. Do
can
you know how
see it.
slow it is to mine underwater?
Sorry.
And after suffering from oxygen deprivation for
not
way too
doing
long,
that. I just want more
resurfaced to get
content.
all of my materials
Well,
smelted up. I started smelting up some of my ores and
seems to be
organizing them
kinda
into
working.
chests. But the best part was that by
I thought he
nightfall,
would be on an
one of the
island.
giant jungle trees had grown. And since I'm using one of the coolest mods ever added to Minecraft, I was able to one-chop this tree down and, dude, it was so satisfying to watch. With all the wood that I had gathered, I worked into the night on making a brand new platform, or my own raft, I guess. Technically, I am surviving on one now, but I wanted to make a homemade one. So I started out by adding gigantic logs to either side and then filling it in with jungle slabs. I don't exactly have a plan for this raft, but I think logs kind of float in the ocean, so that was the design I was going for.
Yeah.
Now that the base of it's done,
They
I
do.
kind of have to work out what I'm going to be putting on the raft. I obviously want to have a
Fun
farm
fact,
here
if
and
one
then
of
some way to grow trees,
the
as well
tree
as a
branch
house,
falls
but I'm trying to
into,
make this
or like a
farm
log
idea,
falls into the
I
river,
really messed up. I
and
the
then
design looks
one
alright,
end
but
might
literally
absorb
those
more
trees that I
water,
planted down will not
so it'll
grow.
like bob,
However, I didn't know that at the time,
and then
so I
if a
moved
boat
on to
hits
making
it,
a little
to
dock
like
for the singular
sink,
boat that
it's
I
gonna
had.
sink or
Not sure why that was so
whatever.
important, but alright, whatever. Now for the main attraction, the actual house on the raft. I'm not going to be living like a hobo like I was on the before raft, so the after one has to have a nice little place to live. Obviously, I'm using a bunch of jungle wood to make this entire thing, so I have to struggle with my eyes to look at this. Funny enough, while I was actually making this house, I ran out of jungle wood. So I used up oak for the roof, because I actually like the oak leaves better, and I thought it would kind of break up the roof detail a little bit more. However, this is when I noticed that my jungle trees are not growing, so I have to fix the farm and separate that from the trees. Now, I don't exactly know what was going on in my head while trying to build this raft, but golly, I tried to put way too much detail into everything I built. Thankfully, after getting everything in its place, I was able to move in here. I made the house a very nice little area with furnaces, crafting tables, barrels, and of course, my storage chests. Thankfully, the newly designed tree farm that I made actually grew a jungle tree, so I was able to use that to finish off the roof of my house. Which
Pretty
means
sure he was
everything
just
is off
waiting
our
for me
old
to come
raft
out.
and onto our new one.
But
I think this one looks a
honestly,
lot better, so yeah, we're gonna delete
there
this
is
old raft real quick so I don't have to bear the sight of it anymore. Days 7 and 8 were a little bit more relaxing, if you find mining under the earth relaxing. Now that we have our house sorted out, I now have to worry about the armor that I'm wearing, or lack thereof. So it was time to go back down in the caves and get to mining. Now this mod was actually made in 1.16, which is the one mining area I'm used to, plus I know it all too well. So while I was underground, my goal was to get a ton of diamonds and iron so I don't have to come back down here for a little while. I started by searching the little lava caves because they can have huge veins of diamonds, not like the one veins we have in 1.18 plus. However, I also realized while I'm down here, I should probably grab some obsidian, so I didn't sit here for too long grabbing 18 pieces of obsidian. I'm not bored, you are. Okay, back to finding diamonds. I was able to get a few before I ran into an abandoned mine shaft. The best part about this place is that I actually found it at Y11, which means this entire thing is going to be in diamond range. So I looked around this place, grabbing a ton of different ores, looting any of the mine shaft chests I could, and avoiding all possible mobs. Unfortunately, that strategy didn't work forever because I ended up finding a witch and, let's just say, I don't like poison. Me being at half a heart really ran through my food supplies, so I had to be quick while down here. I grabbed up the rest of the ores that I wanted and headed up to surface. Throughout the entire trip, I got 28 diamonds, almost 2 stacks of iron, almost a stack of gold, and a lot of redstone and lapis that we won't talk about. That stuff's useless anyway. We're back on the raft at day 9, and I ran out of food while in the caves, so I decided to make a smoker and put some potatoes in there because I am starving. Then I made the executive decision.
What amazing ideas do you have buzzing around in your head? Turn your ideas into reality with
To start fishing for the entire day. But this time, there's actually a reason to it, okay? I got all that obsidian from earlier, but I have no way of getting a book, which means I can't make an enchantment table. I mean, sure, yeah, I can go to the nether, but that's kind of boring. So instead, I decided to sit here and fish until I got a book. Thankfully, it only took like 3/4 of the day to finally fish one up. Ooh, a book. It had to be Sharp 3. With a serpent charmer? You know what? It's fine. Now that I have an enchanted book, all I have to do is grindstone it so that I can use it to make an
God,
enchant
this
table.
video's gonna be
Rest
like
in
an
peace,
hour
Sharp 3
long.
book, but you made the ultimate sacrifice so that I can enchant stuff. I then enchanted my diamond pickaxe and iron sword with starter enchants, just so I can say I made a little progress on day 9. Days 10 and 11 will be productive, however, because I'm going on a boating adventure. There's no way that I am the only raft out here, or maybe there's a small island I can go aboard, but there has to be something out on the ocean. So I boated until I hit something. The first thing that I hit was a gigantic pirate ship. Dude, I thought my raft was like pretty decent size, but there was just a huge ship sitting out here. But of course my brain thinks it only ways to kill me, so of course I had to go loot it. What in the world is that? Oh, it's a ship. Alright, well, time to die, I guess. Aha! You can't get me. You can all get me at once, actually. Yeah, apparently the ship is infested with pillagers, which isn't good for me. Oh my lord, there's so many of you. But thankfully, I mined into a specific part of the ship that allowed them to all come at me while I was just hitting them and they couldn't do anything about it. It was pretty great. After killing all of the pillagers on this floor, I was able to loot a little bit. I got a lot of TNT. For some reason, they kept this on the ship. Emeralds, and I found a chest with diamond horse armor inside. Yeah, I'm gonna find a horse out here. Although when I tried to pull up on the deck, there were just as many pillagers, man.
Welcome to day 2. Holy crap. And there's a baby pig. And I am hungry. What? What did that do? I get it. Woo, woo, woo. Oh well. Let's kill the sheep so I can have full hunger. I know it hurts. How do you think I feel? I still have damage. You're just an animal, bro. I need some. Yes, a cow. Okay. There's a skelly in the distance, which means we might have to pop out the video again. Oh my gosh, bro. The baby pigs drop food. Drop an apple. Yes. Okay, now I'm at full. I'm almost at full health. There. I'm at full health and full hunger. Don't worry, I will trim this tree down. Chop it down, whatever you want to say. Just doing some pruning. Kidding me? I only had 4 pieces of wood. 5, but yet again, we have nothing to do.
After fighting off all the unwanted seamen, I wanted to loot the top floor and see if there was any loot worth it. Although finding a compass and some paper really made me think I was getting gypped. But there were a couple hay bales, so technically it's not worthless. That's when I discovered that there was a lower part of the ship, with a lot more men down there. Shockingly, once again, I was able to handle the rest of the ship and start looting. But like, seriously, there was nothing down here. No treasure whatsoever. I mean, the cookie is probably the best thing I got on the entire ship. That wasn't enough to satisfy my adventuring itch, so I moved on. While on my little boat, I was able to find a guardian temple, but I think it's broken down because this doesn't seem very familiar. I did get a golden apple from it, but after being shot by a trident guy, I dipped out of there pretty quickly. And while back on the sail, I found the greatest thing that could have happened to me the entire video. I found a villager floating out on a small boat. However, the minute I make it over to him, almost everything goes wrong. A bunch of trident guys spawn, destroy my boat, and I have to duck onto the ship and just avoid everything. Man, there's creepers, there's trident guys, I don't know what to do. I'm stuck here with a villager. So, how's your day going? I tried to come up with a way to get the villager out of there, but the trident guys are just gonna break my boat, so somehow I have to deal with them. Unfortunately, they do way too much damage to me and are super annoying, so I just popped the gapple and dove in to beat the heck out of them, alright? I cannot deal with these things anymore. After I got the villager into a boat, all I had to do was take
Dude,
him
one of
home.
my trees
But
grew
wait,
up.
where is home, by the way?
Great,
When
no.
traveling back to try and find it, I found another smaller ship.
Sorry, guys.
They're not villagers anymore. They're witches. That's a witch boat. That's an evil boat. My curiosity peaked as this entire boat changed its shape,
I'm really
color,
sorry,
and
guys.
boss. I don't know how it did that, but it was pretty cool. Although once I got off the ship, I realized that I was out-geared, dude. Okay, at one point I had to fight an illusionist. I still do not know how to kill this thing, and it was bodying me. Thankfully, the loot on the ship wasn't too bad. I mean, I even got a wither skeleton skull, so I guess I can spawn the wither? Why would anyone want to do that willingly? And after boating back to my raft with my villager, the entire loot haul that I got was quite insane. I got a few potions, that wither skeleton skull, golden apples, a few ores, and of course, the TNT. That's like the coolest thing I got. I got TNT. Okay, fine, the villager's pretty cool too. Unfortunately, I
Ooh,
don't think
great.
this
I
guy's
have a
going to
wandering
switch
trader,
from being
but
a
it
fish
will
trader. And
probably
since I don't have
despawn.
any fish of any kind for him, I think I'm gonna have to find another one so I can breed him and make
Let
more
me trade
villagers.
with you.
Although having this Squidward is a step in the right direction. So days 12 and 13, I wanted to make the next
Ooh,
step by
great, a
going
tree.
and finding another one. Yes, for the next 2 days, I went back out and did almost the exact same thing I just did. Although while out on the open sea, I was avoiding all of those giant pirate ships because after looting
Just gonna
all of
listen
them,
to
I
it,
realized they
you
have
know.
zero loot for me. I mean, there's no treasure. How are you pirates and not have treasure? You guys are like useless. Instead, I focused on tiny ships, and specifically a tiny island that had a little bit of sugarcane on it. This is the first sugarcane I've ever seen, and trust me, I'm gonna need this. Right after finding that sugarcane, I also found another one of the tiny ships that I thought would turn into witches. But come on, there's literally an iron golem there. There is no way that that's going to turn into witch. You sons of a gun. Getting really annoyed with this witch ship thing. However, I did go inside and get my second wither skeleton skull. One more of these and I can actually spawn the wither. Again, still don't know why I'm going for this. Back on the hunt, I saw a boat with black sails, okay? This has to be a fake witch ship. There's no way there's a brand new boat that's gonna turn into... Oh, are you kidding me? Finding a villager is gonna be a lot harder than I thought. Long into the night, I actually found a boat with an evoker on it, okay? But the coolest part was that it had bookshelves, so I had to risk it. I broke inside, boarded myself in, and grabbed 4 different bookshelves, which is only 12 books, but hey, that's better than nothing. I did also try to kill the evoker, but the minute I got down to 3 hearts, I realized I was no match for this team up. The next ship that I stumbled upon happened to be a TNT ship. I don't really know what any of this means, but okay. I broke on board and it had a blaze spawner with lots of TNT inside. Terrible combination, but it also had living TNT monsters. The place was full of gunpowder, lava, fire charges, and of course TNT. I didn't really need all of this stuff, but I guess I can use it for blowing myself up later, I guess. When I was on my way home, just about to give up, I finally found a villager. Ooh,
Bye.
oh, villager!
Yeah, no, most of the entertainment is probably
This
just
dude was a sight
the
for
video
sore eyes. I've been at this for 2
that I'm
days now,
listening
just
to
trying to
and
find this
watching.
guy's kind.
But now you can watch it too while it's nighttime.
Taken back to my raft. It's the second villager I trapped, and now I can start breeding them. Alright, I've been in the ocean for a little while, and I am floating on a raft. I need some solid to do that, I'm going to build
Well-
an island. Now, I know this is surviving on a raft. I'm absolutely going to keep the raft that I am standing on, but I also need a place for these villagers, and this is not big enough. When it comes to this project, I'm going to need a lot of dirt because this thing is going to be massive. So I headed down to the mines because that's the only spot I'm going to find dirt. See, if I strip mine, I can find these little pockets of dirt that I can then mine and use up on the surface. Now, you think this would be easy. After doing this for an entire day, though, I only had about 4 stacks of dirt, which meant I was going to need to ramp this project up. So on days 14 through 16, I went right back down into the mines to keep digging for more dirt. The issue is that sometimes while I was strip mining, I would run into caves that are deadly. I swear, I swam into a gigantic cave
I'll
and was
check-
just waiting
check
to be
in
eaten
for
by a
that.
fish. Thankfully, no harm came to me and I was able to leave with a lot more stacks of dirt. And to end off day 16, I started working on a cobblestone outline of the island. I wanted to almost kind of circle the raft in a way so that it looks like I parked it here on purpose. However, doing this project in the dark was a no-no because if I build too far away, monsters are going to start spawning on the outline, so I slept. Day 17, I got straight back to work on this cobblestone outline. There were a lot of moving parts to this thing, but as soon as I finished, I started using up all of the dirt that I had collected to fill in the outline. However, within the entire day, I ended up using every single stack of dirt I had collected in 3 days prior, and I've only gotten this far. This is going to be a massive project, but I swear in the end, it's going to look amazing. Day 18, I took a little bit of a break from building, except I did have to extend this sugarcane farm. I'm starting to think more about the enchants that I'm going to have to do later, and this little farm is not going to cut it. So I extended it out further, and then thought to myself, if I do end up getting enough sugarcane, I have no leather for this, which means it's time to head to the nether. I have a decent bit of gold, so I made my nether portal over on the island and hopped in. Unfortunately, it's not the best spawn, but at the end of one of the tunnels, I did find some pigment. This could be perfect. Oh, this could be bad and perfect at the same time. Perfect, here we go. What is that? Get off me! Get off me! What the? Alright. I'm fine. Ugh, whatever that was. Alright, I made a hole for the piglins and started throwing all of my gold at them. Of course, I'm gonna sit there and grab up. Why did they give me so many pearls? I swear I could be a speedrunner.
Sorry
The reason I'm
again.
here is leather, but every single time they gave me a new trade, I swear it was 90% chance of getting pearls. I only left the nether with around 12 leather. It was so unfortunate. Probably the worst luck I've ever had, and yet it's still the best luck I've ever had. By the end of the day, I had to really upgrade my tools. They were all looking terrible, so I made a new pickaxe, axe, and shovel. The best part is that I was able to enchant them with all efficiency 1 and then combine them with my old tools so that they were kind of useful. Which is great, because the next 2 days I am going to absolutely obliterate my tools. I'm going on another mining expedition. Shocker. Remember how I ran out of dirt earlier? Yep, I'm gonna be needing more. So I went back down into the mines and started strip mining. The 3 things that I want are gold, diamonds, and dirt. What a terrible list. Now, strip mining is fun and all when you pull up a TV show to watch, but not when you're trying to watch the YouTube video. So I'll just tell you, right before my pickaxe was about to break, I escaped the caves with a solid 10 stacks of dirt, almost 2 stacks of gold, and another 30-ish diamonds. Pretty good haul when all I wanted was a brown cube. The next day, I was back to working on the island. I just got 10 stacks of dirt for a reason, and I had to fill this thing out. Unfortunately, to my own surprise, it was not enough. Again, I'm beginning to see a theme here. Even though I ended up using all my dirt, I wasn't done for the day. I ended up enchanting a couple more armor pieces and then making another diamond pickaxe. This time the enchantment table actually gave me some luck and I got efficiency 2, which is great because my other one was already efficiency 2, and I could combine them for efficiency 3. Wow, that was a long explanation for a really boring part. Also, I totally forgot that I had this map. I don't really want to fill this out. Instead, I decided to make some shears and mine the vines. Because I guess at some point in the future, I might maybe want mossy cobble. Great use of my time. Oh, I forgot we still didn't have enough dirt. Alright, back on another mining trip. Yeah, I know, strip mining is getting boring, but I haven't gone this way yet. Look, I think you guys have seen enough of me mining dirt, so yes, day 22, I mined a bunch more dirt, and then day 23, shockingly, I placed it down. There's 0 chance that this is not enough dirt, alright? This has to be enough. I need more dirt? Dude, how? Okay, I swear this one's going to be a quick trip. I went right back down in the caves, got some more dirt, and I'm telling you right now, I'm not going back. All right, I'm done with this. The island was too big. I don't know why I did this. After grabbing like 2 stacks of dirt, this had to be enough. I mean, it definitely wasn't at all, and instead of going mining for more dirt to finish out the island, I did something I greatly regret. I started duplicating it by turning it into coarse dirt and then back into regular dirt. I hate this process, alright? But I hate it a little less than going back down there into the mines and mining even more. So yes, that was how I finalized the island, was using coarse dirt, which I could have done in the beginning, but who has the time for that? Day 24, we have the island set and we are ready to build here. I just don't know exactly how I'm going to build here because it's so brown. Like, jungle wood is disgusting enough, I don't need to be building on dirt, which means I have to somehow get a
Progress. Moving in a positive direction. We all want to.
grass block. Thankfully, it's quite easy. They can apparently spawn in barrels, so I collected a few barrels and, shocker, I opened one up to find it. With the existence of a grass block on the island, I think mobs can spawn, but I don't think they ever do. I also finally filled out the sugarcane farm, which means we are on max production with that. And then for the rest of the day, I ran around the island with logs in my hand looking like an idiot. Yeah, in my head, I was trying to figure out how I'm going to build on the island. I mean, there are a bunch of different buildings I'm going to have on this thing, and I don't want them all crossing paths. So the part where I am placing down logs in a very weird manner, I swear means something in the future. Not right now. I know I look insane, and I deserve to be in a mental asylum for this. I get it. Day 25, I realized that the villagers I've had on the island for so long have been useless because they are not producing babies. So to get that production ramped up, I decided to make them a villager breeder on the island. You guys all know that I'm a pretty decent builder, but when I cooked up this idea in my head, I had no idea how amazing it would turn out, okay? For the build, I'm using all jungle materials, which is definitely not my norm, and I'm also using the jungle leaves. The idea for this place was to kind of look like a broken down boat used as a house, I guess. That's the only way I can really describe this. However, I ended up using leaves for the walls and the roof, and then I made like a caved in archway roof boat bottom. I don't know what I'm doing, I just built it, okay? But this is the final product, and if you like it, go down in the comments and tell me, because I have never built something so strange but also awesome at the same time. Day 26, I went to finish off the build by getting the interior done. Now I still had to finish off the areas for the doors and then add some roof beams, and now I have to get the villagers over here. Clearly the villagers love being dragged against their will into their home for the rest of eternity. But now that they're both in here, I added in 7 extra beds, which means I can get 5 more villagers if these guys get busy, you know what I mean? So to let them get in the mood, I lit up the room and threw down a bunch of bread. Hopefully this works. After all that building, my adventuring itch was catching back up to me, so I decided it was time to head into the nether and go locate some bastions. Now, I am not the most prepared guy for this mission, but I am the only man on this mission, which means it has to work out, right? While running through the nether, the first place that I found was a nether fortress, and shockingly, inside I found something I should never have possession of. A bomb. The game literally gave me a bomb. Thankfully, no one inside the bastion was on my bad side, and I didn't have to unleash the explosion upon them. But again, I am not looking for a nether fortress, I'm looking for the bastion where all the piggies reside. Of course, the first one that I found had to be a treasure bastion. I mean, this is obviously what I'm looking for, but dude, come on, my luck's insane. I looted the tall area first, as it doesn't always have the best loot, but right now I'm pretty poor, so I'll take anything. And when it was time to get to the bottom section, things got a little spicy. Do not worry about my health. Don't even look down there. I'm definitely fine. Anyway, onto the treasure. When I got to the middle of the bastion, I discovered
one
the
heart.
best possible thing I could have gotten. A god apple. I've literally never gotten a god apple from a bastion before, but this was an awesome find. I'm a little upset I didn't get another ingot, but to be fair, I did get diamond boots, and I hadn't even made diamond armor yet.
I might
so
just
I guess
make
I
it
don't need to
5
try
days
right
to this
After
video,
only looting
because
one of the bastions, I decided
I
to
don't
head home.
feel like
However,
sitting here for
my
like 2
food
hours
consumption
straight.
had turned to be an issue. I didn't have any left. I was low, I didn't have any food, there's zero chance I'm getting back to my portal
I'm
until I
bored.
remembered that hoglins exist, so I started shooting those guys down with the crossbows I had gotten. so I could eat some raw pork chops. I finally returned home with quite a lot of loot. You know, a few diamonds, a lot of gold, a couple pieces of ancient debris, and of course, most importantly, that god apple we got. I'd say my adventuring itch has been satiated. Okay, so day 28's adventure wasn't all for nothing. I had gotten 20 blocks of gold, which is plenty to start trading with the piglins. Which means, yes, I did technically go back in the nether, throw some gold in the hole, and wait for a while. But the reward was awesome. I got 40 pieces of leather, which is plenty for me to make a level 30 enchant table. I crafted up all the bookshelves, placed it down, and now I can finally enchant a good pickaxe. Are you kidding me? Still no
Come
fortune?
aboard, mister.
Unfortunate.
There
Yesterday,
is
I just used up
so
the durability on
many
my axe to absolutely go ham on some of the trees. Having this giant empty
horses.
slab in
I am
is
going
great right now
to.
because
There's
there
a
are
donkey.
So many really tall trees I can just chop down for fun. Oh, I just realized I'm gonna have to use all of this for stick trades. Oh, the foreshadowing hurts. The next 2 days were kind of profit days. What I mean by that is I now have an enchant table.
My
which means
donkey's
I'm going
just
to
gonna be
profit
my
by
only
getting some
friend.
enchants. Although I did kind of have to work for it. I went to the nether and started mining for a little while. I mean, of course, I'm gonna
That's
off camera
an
mine,
animal.
'cause who shows you all this? I mean, look, I'm mining a quartz ore. Good frickin' job. Oh, you know what I did see? I saw a crawling
keep the
bear
white
on the
horse,
ceiling. Or
you
maybe it was
know.
like a lava bear. I think it was on fire. I saw a fire bear on the ceiling. Yeah, that ended my time in the nether. I was done after that. I left with around 44 levels, which enabled me to enchant a few different items. You know, like efficiency 4 and breaking 3 diamond X, or an efficiency 4 fortune.
I'm keeping Mr. Show
Maybe
Horsey
some Proc 4
Boaty
boots,
thing.
Proc 3 leggings, and a fire protection chest plate. But we won't talk about that. I also was able
Well,
to combine my
gonna
pickaxes
keep the
with
black horse now, 'cause there's a
55
black horse.
Unbreaking 3 diamond pickaxe.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
that's
come on,
right.
that's a
I
really
don't.
good pick. By the end of those days, I'd also noticed that the villagers had finally bred and there were babies walking around, which is great because I can actually now make Fletcher villagers. Therefore, I can get emeralds and, well, everything.
He's trying to headbutt me.
Since the kids weren't grown up yet, I decided to make my island into a living embodiment of a jungle. I planted down a bunch of the 2 wide jungle trees and just went to ham, murdering all of my axe's durability. However, like I said, I'm going to be doing a lot of Fletcher trades, as it's first off the easiest, and second off the cheapest. So the stacks of wood on the ground right here, those are all going to be gone.
He's gonna watch me kill horses and hope for leather. I guess.
Make him into a Fletcher, which traded 32 sticks for a single.
Where are you
emerald. I know
going?
It sounds pretty bad, but it's actually quite good. I got my first trades of the video, left with
Ow.
16 emeralds, and I was able to go to night-night. One day I'll have that mending. Day 33 is going to be the day that I get a mending book. Alright, I am going to make a lectern and get a villager that just gives me a mending book so I don't have to worry about it. Obviously, to do that, I crafted up a lectern and figured out something pretty cool. Item shelf? What's an item shelf? Oh, that's so cool.
Cool.
That's sick. Apparently, I discovered the craft for a
Please
shelf
do
that
not
just
spit.
goes on the wall. Of course, I had to display my god apple. Unfortunately, it doesn't glow or anything. It still looks cool though. However, I
Ow.
accidentally crafted 2 of them, which means
Shut.
I could place another item. This happened to be a potion of levitation, and it literally displayed the little name of it. It was so cool. Like, if we could just have this in normal Minecraft, I swear I'd play every day. Okay, that's a little bit of a lie, but it would still be really cool. Anyway, back to getting this mending villager.
I do
Alright,
play
you
like
guys
every
have
day.
the idea, alright? You guys know how annoying it is to try
And
get
good
mending.
news,
So I sat
pretty
here
soon
the
is
entire day.
Christmas break.
Free roaming
Tomorrow
abandoned,
I
so
will
I
be
got
on
mending.
Christmas break.
I got really close to
I just
making
have to go to
another
school
trade
one
as
more
well.
day.
There was a sharpness 5 that I had to pass up on, and it was just
Yeah,
so
so-
tempting, dude. And then I got a mending, but it required 37
Bro.
emeralds, dude. No one is making a trade for 37
Yeah.
emeralds, especially this guy. So I kept going. Unfortunately, soon after, I got an unbreaking 3 trade for 19 emeralds. Alright, that is an insane trade, and I went through like so many emotions trying to figure out if this is what I wanted or not. Oh, unbreaking for 19 though, for 19. Oh my god, I have to reevaluate my entire life choices if I get that though, because I need mending still. One of these will come up and everything.
Oh.
unbreaking for 19 is
Shouldn't you burn because
unmatched.
your head's out of the
It's
water?
unmatched. Do I know unbreaking? I mean, like, it's pretty easy to get unbreaking on my gear and everything, but it's also, like, a really valuable thing. Especially when I have this new Elytra, I have to have
So I have
it.
2 pieces of wool. Guess
19
what?
is such a
There-
good trade.
there's a baby
I
sheep
just
on my
could not accept
shy.
it. I mean, I was pondering,
My
I was
island.
walking
So the
around,
video
could
will
not
start to
figure
go
out if I wanted
faster
this
in a little bit.
or just to go for mending
Just
again, 'cause
give
I
me
have
like
to wait for the villager to grow up.
another 5
I know it's
minutes.
kind of a terrible choice not to go for this because eventually
And then the
I'll
video
be a
can go
man, and then I
faster.
can make him go for mending. But in the
You know?
moment, my head was definitely spinning. Alright, now I actually just need mending. I have the Unbreaking 3 book.
There.
All I have
Are
to
any
do
of my
is wait
trees
for one of the
growing?
kids to grow up, and in the next coming days, I can actually get mending. Was it the right call? Comment down below. The next day, I thought it'd be a little bit fun to kind of troll some of the things on the island. I mean, the villagers are still growing up, so I had the time. They started spawning in iron golems, and other than the fact that I can get extra iron from them, I can also whack them, run away, and then they can't do anything about it when I hit them through the fence gate. Yeah, sure, the villagers are watching me murder their best friend live on camera, but they don't do anything about it. After that, I collected a little bit more trees and decided I had enough wood to start working on the dock I had planned from the very beginning. Remember when I was like psychotically placing logs? It was time that I actually did something with that idea. So for the rest of the day, I start going through and adding straits, which is kind of my way of saying jungle.
Bro, stop
slash
destroying
straight
my
line.
island.
Trust me though, there is a plan, alright? I'm not
You know,
placing logs and
I'm
slabs
just
grass
gonna
for
murder
no
you when you're
reason.
done
Eventually,
growing.
I'm sure I'll decorate it. By the end of the day, I had a very basic outline.
When you
of what I
grow,
was
I'm just gonna
making with
murder
these
your
docks,
sheep.
and then
So
I
I
put
need
stuff
your
in the
wool
village.
to make a
Don't take
bed.
that out of context.
I also
I
need
put
some
it off
wood.
long enough, it's time to go for
The
mending.
looks of it,
I kind of suffered earlier,
guess
but
what?
now
I don't
have
have
to
any.
redo.
Actually,
So I sat in the breeder for a little while and continued re-rolling until I got mending for 18. It's not great,
the
but
sacks
trust me,
do?
it's better than the 37 I got earlier.
or
I
whatever
locked in the
that
trade
was.
and then used the mending to add it to my beautiful diamond axe. With this, it should be really easy to use all of my fletching villagers
You know.
by cutting down half of, well, hopefully all trees left on the planet. Then I finished out the day by doing
That's
a little
not
bit
very
more
good.
decoration on the dock. You know, adding the ends, putting some slabs,
You
and deciding
know.
which areas I wanted to be gateways. However, I
Wait,
didn't
hold
fully
on.
finish the build yet. Back to the dock for me. I had to finish this thing up after procrastinating it for way too many days. Just like in real life. I started by adding the railway to the dock so your toddler won't fall into the ocean and play with the sharky sea life. Once I had it all made, I added the lights and started using the rest of my deforestation profits to trade for valuable green gems.
You know,
With
I
my
really
riches, it was time to get a proper
need
set of armor. The 50 pounds of iron wrapped around my body
a
isn't
crafting
good enough
table.
anymore. I need the 20,000 pounds of diamonds laced into my flesh. Okay, that's enough. The day was spent re-rolling villagers for a Protection 4 book. However, a super cheap feather falling guy came up out of nowhere, so yeah, that's a cop. But afterward, I did get brought 4 for cheap, which allowed me to make max leggings and some max boots with the levels that I had. I did shortly run out, so the upper half of my armor will have to be done another day. To get the top set of my armor, I had to trade away all of my rainforest profits that I cut down earlier to get XP. This is like the only way I can think to get levels as fast as possible is just trading away everything I have. But once I had enough levels, I combined everything up and I had the top sets of my armor, which means I am now weighing 20,000 pounds. Yeah, the average Minecraft player is kind of,
Oops.
OP. By nightfall, I also decided to take down my sugarcane farm and not put it anywhere, so it's just gone, I guess. Okay, taking a break from dealing with the villagers, I am going to put them in a different house. Which means it's time to go make the actual villager trading hall. Okay, having them all in the breeder is getting way too much for me to handle. So days 39 through 40, I began work on what I call a terrible build, because I really don't like this thing. I basically just made an L-shaped house with all the jungle wood and leaves that I had, and honestly, it did not turn out well. I do not like this thing. Hopefully the prisoners I put in here, though, will enjoy it, because I'm not changing the design. Day 41, now that we have the villagers a new location to explore, it's time to put them over there. I slowly voted in all the villagers that I wanted because, well, I don't need the librarians for breeding. Again, I still have these 2 random fishermen that I guess I'll just keep in the breeder. After getting in all of the librarian and Fletcher villagers, I took a break because there's no way I can deal with these guys anymore. I mean, look, I'm just boating him across the area. How cool
Wow.
is this? Like, how am I supposed to tell? I took a boat trip with a Squidward. Alright, that's all I did this day. Day 42, I was kind of running low on my rainforest lumber profit and had to get back to work. So I would grow more trees with the bone meal I had gotten from the nether and just chop them down in one hit with my axe. This like tree feller mod that I am using is super amazing. I mean, seriously, I don't have to climb these trees and do it. This is a lifesaver. They should just have this in Minecraft. But again, Mojang's stupid. Once I took the entire day
That's
to
not
just
very
chop down
nice.
trees, I got back to work on decorating. I needed a path from our dock all the way over to the new villager hall. So I went through and made some path blocks and then decided to add a little bit of a
Okay, I'm
farm
gonna
next to the path
time-
because
I'm
what else is
getting
gonna
kinda
go here? A
hungry.
building? I can't build, obviously. I just built this monstrosity. Then I think
Yeah,
I'm
so
running
when
out
it
of wheat, so
becomes-
it's probably a
once
smart
this
idea
video
to have
has
a
been an
farm
hour
here, since
long-
otherwise the villagers are gonna go hungry. Wait, that's a better idea. should
I
not feed
will
them. Since I'm
go-
doing some decorations around the
I'll
island,
be-
I kind of noticed that the island's
Go on to grab a
floating.
snack,
When I
bye-bye.
built the cobblestone earlier, I built it on water level instead of one below, which means that I am one block above the water, and the island looks terrible. So I wanted to begin connecting it to the water by adding dirt to the water level. But remember how I used so much to just make the platform? Yeah, I had to go back in the mines and grab more dirt. So fun. At this point, it's just going to be 100 days of mining dirt underground. After I had all the dirt that I needed, I began making like a 3-wide rim around the island. It actually makes it look like Minecraft terrain instead of an alien came here and just pooped out dirt on the water. And at the end of the day, I decided to get rid of the tree farm that I had on my raft still for some reason. I'm building an entire island and I still had a tree farm on my raft. I think the best option for this spot now is to put my enchantment table here because having it on the island in the middle of nowhere is probably the worst call I could have made. So now that I have that set up here, I can technically use it, even though everything I have is already maxed. Day 45, it was time to get to work on adding something to this little section of the island. All right, we have our villager trading hall, we have our breeder, and we have a random farm, but this area just looks terrible. Ignore the middle part of the island, I swear something's gonna go there. But for this specific area, I wanted to add a little bit of a fishing hut. Now, clearly, I am the best builder to cross the Western Hemisphere. Am I in the West? Yeah, the Western Hemisphere. There we go. I figured it out. And this fishing hut is going to look amazing. All right, I added a little bit of a dock. We have the jungle leaf roof again because I have no other block. And look at these barrels. Barrels outside, we know, because the fisher people like the barrels for some reason. And then I decided to extend the farm so that it grows the entire length of the path all the way to this new fishing hut. I probably will never use this build, but it's here. Cool. Day 46, I entered the nether so I could get some more bone blocks. I'm running low on bone meal to get the jungle trees up and running, which is basically my only form of profit these days. However, when I went inside, I figured out that this thing is an iron farm. Apparently, they just keep wandering in here, which is good, because technically free iron. Then I headed over to the Soul Sand Valley and started cutting down all of the fossils. Are these fossils, or are they just, like, bones? I mean, are bones? Bones would just be fossils. After getting like a stack of bone blocks, I made my way out, fought through all of the mosquitoes that were in here, by the way, and returned home so I can continue my
Alright,
tree
I'm
farm.
back.
Day 47, I was back to guiding some villagers over to their eternal resting place. I still technically need a Sharpness 5 book, and I need Respiration. I'm out in the middle of the ocean, and I still can't breathe underwater. Terrible, terrible planning by my part. So once I got the 2 villagers in their area, I just began re-rolling for the entire day. It was really, really fun. Sharpness 5 for 64
Anyways, I'm
hours,
having a
and
snack.
then I got Respiration shortly after. I guess technically the only thing left I need is Aqua Affinity on my helmet, but who really cares about that? Day 48 began with me deciding to take on the Iron Golem problem on my island. First things first, a creeper ended up spawning, which shouldn't have happened, and then the Iron Golem was like, nah, I'm not gonna help. Dude, you are useless to me. I killed the creeper and decided that there's no way these guys can live rent-free anymore, so I wanted a 1v1 an Iron Golem. Of course, I absolutely demolished the guy and moved on to the real task of the day. Buying like 4 crossbows from one of my villagers, okay? I need a maxed out crossbow. I don't really need it, I kind of just want it. But after using a ton of emeralds and then starting combining them for a ton of levels, I still had 2 that I couldn't combine, which meant back to trading away all of my wood profits. However, once I did have enough levels, I created a wooden weapon. Technically, I am now the Strapped. Oh, by the end of the day, I also built a circle
Sorry
on a
about
dirt,
that.
because this is where a mountain's gonna go. And this was step 1, guys. I'm almost there. All right. Alright, we're 50 days into this and I still have not had a solid accomplishment, alright? So today and tomorrow, I'm gonna focus on killing the Wither. It's been a while since I left my base, and so I decided to bow out with the 2 Wither skeletons that I did have and try and find another. The open ocean is beautiful, and some of these pirate ships look tasty, so I decided to go test my crossbow on one of them. This gigantic pirate ship is full of pillagers who are getting absolutely rocked by this crossbow. They may as well have been vampires by how well I was wood staking them, alright? That's what's happening here. That's a wood stake. Kind of. After finishing off the gigantic sailing ship, I went to all the small ones that are supposed to have witches and the last Wither skeletons. Dude, I understand why you lost the mob boat. I hate you. Stop, please. After getting the 3rd skull, though, it was time to find a good place to fight the Wither. So I landed on a nice little sandy beach and spawned it in. Now it's just me versus the Wither on open ocean. I can probably win. Useless. Honestly, this mob is so bad. I can't even believe you're in the game. You are literally the worst mob I've ever had to fight. The Warden, the Ender Dragon, they all are good. You suck. After getting the Nether Star, I guess I can technically make a beacon now, but I don't need one. I mean, it was just kind of fun to beat down on the worst Minecraft boss of all time. Although I guess displaying it would be kind of cool, so I did end up crafting it when I got back home and adding it to the little item shelf. Technically, there isn't really a better flex than this, so I guess it's a good item to have. Remember how before we went on that little adventure to kill the worst boss, I mentioned the fact that I was going to build a mountain here in this circle? Well, I don't have any dirt again. So I think you can guess where I'm... Yeah, I'm in the caves. I know. Again, I'm in the caves. I'm just mining dirt for the next 2 days. It's the most fun thing in the world, I swear. Like, I'm having a great time down here. I mean, look, it's dirt. And then look, more, oh, that's stone. But look, more dirt. I mean, see, this is... these are my days, man. Day 53, I remember the fact that I live out in the middle of the ocean and my domain has to be under it, okay? So I gotta conquer it by getting Aqua Affinity on one of my helmets. So I made a diamond helmet and started enchanting it so I could get Aqua Affinity. Unfortunately, I didn't first try it, but I did eventually get it. I combined it with my current one and now I have the best diamond helmet you could possibly get, okay? Unless... I don't know, you trim it or something, but this isn't 1.20. Now I can do whatever I want in the water because this is my domain. The other part of the day, I wanted to breed the villagers and keep that cycle going, as well as just tackle the mountain idea that I had. So I grabbed us some cobblestone and built a little pillar and then tried to figure out how I wanted the mountain to form. Side note, the entire time I was doing this, I was watching a brand new anime, so I honestly don't know how this mountain's gonna turn out because I was so not focused on it whatsoever. I mean, this is the spider-like project at the end of this day. I do not have high hopes. Next, I went to work on the mountain. I got rid of my terrible dirt outline and used cobblestone to build up specific sections of the hill, figuring out how the shape of it was going to ultimately look. Trust me, cobblestone will not be the main look I use. I don't want an eyesore on the island. However, I quickly ran out of the block, which means back to the mines to grab more. But when using up what I had just grabbed, I didn't plan ahead and I gotta go back a second time. However, while I was down there, I realized that I'm gonna be needing a lot more than just cobblestone. So for the next 3 days, I stayed in the mines. You will be shocked at what I did. I got dirt. I'm sorry. 23 stacks of dirt later, I was done. Tired, but done. I didn't have to look at it anymore. And if you would like to look at it, just keep this frame on your screen right here the whole time. You know what? I'm going to keep it up for 5 more seconds, okay? I'm going to continue to talk as well so you're not extremely bored like I was. I probably had music on, but that doesn't matter because we're staring at dirt. Day 58, I was back to replacing the cobblestone with said dirt until I had the entire thing covered in poo. Afterward, I swapped out for stone and began adding in the real color. Also, how's the grass gonna reach the top of this thing? I should use my 4 IQ to start planning out my builds better. Day 59 began my decoration art. I grabbed some slabs and some stairs and began putting it on the mountain to round it out. These minor details literally only look good to me, so heck off, alright? Comment down below that you like my build. Alright, don't do that. I had to mine so much dirt for this. Then for the rest of day 59, I began moving more villagers from the breeding hall to the trading hall. I need to fill out all of these slots in here, so I need more librarians and fletchers. Plus, I did figure out that I actually will need Silk Touch to get the grass to spread up there, so I had to go for
So
it with
that
one of the
means
librarians. Once I had it, I tried adding it to my shovel
each
at the end
day
of
is
the day,
1
and
minute.
unfortunately I was 3 levels short, not unlike real life. The next 2 days I would like to call Decoration V2. I first started out by scamming the Squidward squad so that I can combine for an OP shovel. Then I took out some of the grass blocks from the island and put it all over the mountain. It's really a hill. After that, I went back to the 23 stacks of dirt that I had before and started using it to make what I would call a little lake. I was gonna call it a waterfall, but you'll see why it's not. After I had the first layer of it built, I slowly made it go down into the bridge section. I'm gonna make a small little river here and then probably a bridge. Even though I have a dock that's meant to be a bridge, I still do this. I don't know why. I grabbed cobblestone and stone and began outlining the riverbed. I also used slabs and stairs to, once again, make it a little bit more detailed. After that, I realized I have Silk Touch now, so I went over to the coral reefs and grabbed some of the coral, or what are these, the coral fans, I guess? So with those and sea pickles in hand, I decorated our little riverscape. Then I began noticing that the stuff I'm building right here is so much cooler than the rest of the island, so it was time to tackle that decoration project as well. I added pathways in their correct location because I've been walking without them, and how am I going to walk there if there's no path? Then I used some fences and lanterns to light the way, went around the island planting a bunch of trees so that the island looks okay, figured out that the vines I mined 30 days ago are actually useful, and tried to get the perfect tree to go on top of the mountain. Trust me, some of them were a little too tall and some of them were a little too short, but we don't hate any of them. To finish out the 2
Guess what?
long days of
This
decorating,
video's been an hour
we're
long.
milled around the island, and I think it's looking pretty good. I still have a lot to do, but for the decoration arc, it was a solid 10 out of 10. Days 62 and 63, I made a little bit of a hole in the mountain. This is where I'm going to put our nether portal, because if you remember correctly, it was sitting out in the middle of nowhere for way too long. I made it kind of look like a little bit of a hobbit hole, and I guess it now resides here. I then planted a couple trees so I could knock down all of their leaves, did some minor island touch-ups, and then got work on the pathways, okay? The pathway...
Oh, it's raining, bro.
are the most important part of the thing.
Oh,
Otherwise,
no.
I don't know where I'm going. Can't walk there. No path. However, after using a bunch of path blocks for the path, I realized that it would be best if I had forest blocks. And shocker, I don't have any gravel. So I went back to the nether, traversed this hellish landscape just to get some gravel. Ah, yes, this coarse dirt looks so good. Glad I risked my life for this. D64 couldn't have been more boring if Marvel wrote it for you.
Well.
Okay, Quantumania was pretty bad, actually.
Oh
I
no.
was honestly just doing some odd job. The coolest part was that I made a
Crap. Oh no. Frick. Well. Good news. I spawned back in near it, so let's just count that as a survival. I mean, let's count that.
tiny little bridge
The
of
video.
campfires, and then, shocker, it led to a campfire. I actually built a campfire area that the only way to get to it was with a campfire bridge. Astounding, I guess.
Yeah.
And to finish out the day, I went through and made a couple new farms. Yeah, that like 15 seconds is probably better than Quantumania now that I think about it. Day 65 was much like Thor Love and Thunder, a drag. I began by making another pathway all the way to the end of the island, because this is the spot I'm going to be making an iron farm eventually. I want to do like a little ship that actually collects the iron.
Where are
However,
they?
I don't really have the patience for an iron farm, so I don't even think I attempted
Oh, no.
100 days. But I do attempt the build of it, okay? I start the ship out in the water.
Eh,
This
well.
is going to be a broken down... sailboat. So I just started by making a ship out of jungle logs and kind of shaping it into a banana. However, this is all I get done by the end of the day. 367, I went straight back to building the ship.
Wasn't there a
I
sp-
finished
oh,
up the
yeah.
curvature on both sides, made sure that the ship had a nice floor, and then started building the mast at the end of the day. However, I realized that I have 0 wool, so building up here to make a sail is going to do nothing for me. I'm demoted back down to 3 brain cells. B68 was reserved for the killing chamber of the eventual Iron Golem farm. I went to the ship, made a gigantic hole inside of it, and started working out where I was going to add some glass and lava. Now, I had to make it a little bit further down in the ship, which was pretty hard because of all of the water coming in and then the slabs that the ship had. It was kind of a nightmare, but I did eventually get the
Well,
lava.
I
Basically,
am
the water
going to
wasn't
craft.
flowing on it, and yes, Iron Golems
Never
cannot
believe what I'm
technically fall from the
crafting.
heavens, I guess, because I haven't
It
built
is a
anything,
bed.
but they can die here. Day 69 through 74, a giant endeavor I was about to
That.
embark on, alright? We are 70% of the way through this
Please,
video, and I do
thunderstorm.
not have netherite armor. Shameful of me. So I went to the nether and headed down to the base of the world. Then
What
lit the weight of
was
the tree
that?
on the back of my pickaxe, hoping it doesn't
Oh,
break.
crap.
For the next for many hours, I was just mining, alright? Like, I'll show you. I got netherite, there's more. Good job. After I had enough netherite to turn all of my blue gear purple, I headed back home. I emerged from the mines victorious, and all I have to do now is wait for the furnace to smelt. I'm impatient. Although after I had it all done, I made 8 netherite ingots and was able to make my axe, pickaxe, shovel, and armor all into netherite. They call me ancient because I be covered in debris. Oh god, please don't add that. Then at the end of day 74, I went back to trading away nature's profits for emeralds. Day 75, I have
Ow.
accomplished a lot on my world already. The island's looking pretty spiffy, and so am I. However, there are still a few more things I gotta tackle.
Is he on the
This is
island?
ocean. I totally forgot that there's water underneath me, so I wanted to grab a ton of coral and decorate the underside of my island. To do that, I need a brand new pickaxe, one with silk on it, and honestly, it just gives me an excuse to have a little bit of fun with some more trees. See, you're not putting the facts
Trying to
together.
trap him down
The
there.
rest of day 75 was all meant to make an island where I would be farming trees. That's because I need more emeralds and more XP to make said pickaxe. Now that it's all clicking in your head, let's get to the video. I made a little bit of an outline with dirt, filled it all in, added some grass blocks to make the grass grow, put some torches down,
Leave.
and then I have no way to get here. You know what? I might need to build a bridge. How lucky I was that day 76 existed because, shocker, I went on to build the bridge. It's a pretty small bridge, so it didn't take a lot of time, but it did have a really weird curve. I went through quite a few designs, added some torches, fences, walls. You get the gist. It's a bridge. You've walked across it. Maybe you've jumped off one. But here we are, a bridge. Safely. Safely you've jumped off a bridge. Bungee jump. Bungee off a bridge. All I did was cut down, farm, and replant the trees on the island, and then use that to trade with the villagers to get myself to level 30. That I used to enchant the back.
Sweet.
That's not good.
Oh, wait. I'm
Ugh.
not
Terrible.
wearing a pair of
This day
rubber
was boring.
boots.
Well, 78 was
Already?
back on the grind. I farmed a little
He
bit
must have
more,
picked
got some
those
more
up.
village activity
Dropped
and some trades going. Finally enchanted a really good diamond pickaxe, added in all the books that I needed, and
Well,
boom, another god pick.
I
Now all I have to do is
successfully
turn this bad boy into netherite, and we are
mined
good to go.
or killed him,
That is
another
not,
mob.
That's not how you do that. Okay, put it in the right thing, please. Then I try to remember what I did all of this for. Right, coral. Okay, cool. Can't I just use shears for coral? He would later regret saying that. The reason that statement exists is because for the next 3 days, I try and go on an adventure to max out some shears. I start that process at the end of this day by re-rolling villagers to
You know, it
try and
really
get efficiency
sucks
4
because
or
it's
5.
raining.
Unfortunately, they all tire out before I can, and we have to go to bed. Day 79, still re-rolling to try and get an efficiency villager so I can max out a pair of shears. Found one that had Death Strider 3 though, and instantly locked it in. I may as well. For some reason, I still don't have it, and I live in the ocean. But I went back to making another lectern and re-rolling! The story of my life's getting boring. It's day 80, and I'm still re-rolling. This is the worst experience of my life. finally, I got efficiency and I locked it in immediately. I bought 3 books and was going to use it on all of the 3 items that aren't maxed efficiency. I combined some of these epic books to make an efficiency 4 Unbreaking 3's Silk Touch and Mending book, trying to apply it to some shears, and Silk Touch just can't go on them. I didn't know that fact. Should have warned me. The rest of day 80 was really fun. It was super expensive to try and make everything efficiency 5, so I was going back and forth with the villagers for XP again. After enough, I quickly put efficiency.
Of course, I had to wake up
on
when
my
it was
pickaxe and went
raining
to get
today.
even more XP. Then I put that OP book on my shears, and it just took a very long time to get these tools, and I did not need to go through that. 81, I can finally make that dream that I thought of 5 days ago into a reality. I swam
At
over
least
the
I'll be able to
island,
probably
took
finish
pillar
most
after
of my
pillar,
house.
Fan after fan, it did not matter. Once I had a full inventory, I swam to the underside of my island and started placing. All of this is going to be artificial coral pieces. After a little while, I realized I don't know what coral looks like. I mean, I spread it all out too much. It's not great. I'm gonna need so much more of this stuff, and, well, the only thing that can fix it now is sea pickles. Day 2, I went back to review my coral build, and I'm gonna do this later. It looks
I probably have too much wood.
back to tree farming because my new idea is to make a storage room. Now I know I have the raft. I've been living on it for quite some time now. However, the storage system isn't big. 80 days of material gathering later, I have run out of space. So the only place I could think to put a storage room is inside the giant mountain we made. It's literally perfect. I went inside and started planning it out. I added a lot of jungle logs to make a platform, covered up all the dirt in the walls so it's not ugly. Plus, I despise dirt at this point in the video. Filled in the platform with some planks, added a ladder access point, put down some chests, placed ladders everywhere, filled in more spaces with barrels and chests. Again, I need a lot of storage.
Oh,
To organize it too. So yes, this is neat.
great.
Then I finished it out by placing down some leaves and vines to make it all look more natural.
Wait, let's grab.
By the
Where's
end
my
of the
bed?
day,
Where's
I
my
was
bed? Where's my bed?
recently accomplished and walked past
It just-
the coolest things ever. My river has a pet, dude. I have a giant yellow eel in here. Okay, so I made a storage room. Now what I
Okay.
gotta do is organize my storage. I started by moving all of my
So,
things over.
it is
Chest after chest,
technically
for the
day
dinner,
5.
food, ores,
So,
etc.
bye.
It took a bit